It is that time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Mahala Monday. It is the final day of May. And you are here. But guess who's here? She's back. No longer in the hot seat, everybody. She is now back where you back where you belong.
I'm back where I belong, Dougal. Good morning, good
yes.
morning. And I'm back and I'm happy to be sitting in this seat today and not in the hot seat.
Do not do that to me again. Let's start off there, okay? No, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant actually having you in the hot seat. I say now, and Alfonso was fantastic, so it was absolutely wonderful. We had a lot of fun and it was brilliant. But as I said a moment ago, yes, it is the final day of May. So that means as of a couple of hours from now, we will be in June, which obviously means we are into Youth Month.
That is so right, Dougal. And you know, it's all about our youth coming up, and especially with the problems that we're facing with our youth, I think it is perfect for Mahala Monday to concentrate for the next month on the youth.
And that is exactly what we're going to do. So yeah, we're doing it in May. It just shows we're always ahead. That's what we do at Mahala Monday. You know what I mean? We bring everything of the week on a Monday. You just got to love it. So that is what we're doing. And as you know, of course, this is an interactive show. And as always, we welcome and look forward to your contributions, your comments, and your questions. And right now, of course, you can do all of that on at Nickay Productions on YouTube and on Facebook. So we look really forward to sharing this show with you. And of course, and that is what we do at Mahala Monday. So from my side, Dougal, and Rhoda's side, we're looking forward to this one. So today is I want to say it's a special topic.
It is, Dougal, it is. And like we've alluded to, the fact that it's all about our youth at the end of the day. And with the problems we're sitting in at the moment in our communities, there's a lot of abuse, a lot of children at the end of the day that's being neglected. And it's something that needs to be looked at, because you know what? I'm always telling you this, Dougal, this is our future. And if we don't look after our future, what is it going to look like if we actually don't see to them now, you know? So, yeah, this is what it's all about.
It is really, I mean, what is the song? The children are the future.
I
told you I was going to sing it or bring it up at some point. So, yes, this is definitely the case. And today our focus shifts a little bit because we're going to talk about street children.
That is right, Dougal. And then also a bit on community work, you know, and how to assist, and, you know, especially what is happening and what this company is doing right now and how they're reaching out to the communities as well to the street children. That is what it's all about.
And that is why we have with us today Alicia Rhoda, who is the director of the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, and they do stellar work, absolutely amazing work out in the Cape Town area. And she'll be joining us today, and we'll find out more exactly to what they're doing, and we will talk around that topic. And of course, as always, we welcome your questions and your comments to that. So without further ado, Alicia Rhoda, thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us on Mahala Monday. And firstly, good morning. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good morning to the viewers of Mahala Monday and you guys. It's nice to see you and thank you for the opportunity.
No, we must say thank you for coming in to talk about this topic, which is a very, very important topic, and we want to get straight into this. So the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. When did you guys start? Where do you operate? How did all of this come about?
Okay, I started working in November, but the organization has been going on since 2009. They used to start working out with street children since 2006. And what the social workers used to do was to speak to the kids that are roaming the streets of Cape Town, and used to, you know, find out why do they not attend school and why they end up on the streets.
Oh, that is so true.
So that is how it all started. And what I want to ask you quickly on that is, I mean, obviously, at which area do you work all over the Cape, and especially Cape Town, or are you in a certain area?
Western Cape and surrounding areas. Our children come as far as Klein Willem because they're placed through the children's courts. They're placed in our care.
Okay.
So can I ask you, obviously having to work with this as well, Alicia, where did you guys realize, where does the problem seem to come from, having these kids on the street?
Well, when the social workers dealt with the children and spoke to them, they realized that there's a lack of parental guidance at home, and there's a lack of support at home, you know, and that is why the children roam the streets and they get more attention from strangers that takes care or is interested in their well-being, and that's the reason why they end up walking and roaming the streets.
Oh, that is so sad.
And those are and like you say now, so those are some of the primary reasons why the youth and children are out on the street. And do we know numbers? I know it might be putting you on the spot here, but do we have any idea how many youth we're looking at?
Unfortunately, I don't have that statistic with me. But yeah, if you look at the robot, so whenever you stop at the robot, there's always children that are standing and begging, So it does seem to be, especially post-COVID, or not really post-COVID, but with children not attending schools, there are a couple of more children on the streets as well.
Okay. And obviously
Certainly
at your
the case.
center, how many kids have you got at your center at this point?
We registered for 35. At the moment, we've got 22 boys, and the ages are between 12 and 18 years old.
12 and 18. So you guys specifically just have boys? It's not really a girls and boys mix?
We only have boys, yes,
Okay.
at our center.
And then basically, Alicia, where does the name multi-service center? I mean, when we heard the name as well, Dugin and myself were both like, okay, that's like you normally have all these, the youth center and the children's center. There's always something, but I mean, the word multi-service center, where did that come about and why?
Okay, the name started out because we have more than one vision. We have more than one goal, and that is why we call the multi-service center. We go out to the community. We have an office that is stationed in Alsip River, but the children at one of the schools in Alsip River. But our service is for all children in need that comes through our doors or that is placed with us through the social workers. But the one at the school in Alsip River, our social workers work closely with the boys and the girls there, and it's more like preventative and early intervention, so that children don't end up on the streets. So you might have a case where a child speaks to the social worker or speaks to the social auxiliary worker and says that my mommy's new boyfriend is eating me or is not treating me nice. And then so that the child actually don't run away from home, they try and solve that problem rather than, let the child take the route of leaving the home.
Oh.
And Alicia, I just want to step back quickly to what you said earlier. So the ways for children then to end up at your facility is firstly the one you've just mentioned with the social workers identifying certain social problems and then of course sending child your way, and then obviously through the court system as well. Those are the two main ways that children will be taken up in your facility.
Yes, mainly through the social work agency. The Department of Social Work, of Social Development, they have an office that deals with centralization. So all the children are placed through their office. So even if a child came knocking at our door looking for a place to stay or saying that they're in need, it still needs to go through the social work office. We need to take all the details and then let them know, and then they will appoint an external social worker to investigate the area where the child is coming from.
And my assumption would be that you might have those knocks on the door.
Yes, we've had a couple.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sad. And I must say, this must be quite difficult, Alicia, because, I've got a soft spot for kids. And just having to see a child on the street, I bet you guys want to grab all these kids and take them in and help them. And it obviously becomes extremely difficult for you as an organization. Am I right?
It is, if like many of the social workers, I even do it when I am at the mall and there's a child begging. I take the time out to actually speak to that child. Unfortunately, as many youngsters do, sometimes they just want some money. You know, they don't have money at home. They may be living with grandma, and grandma gets once a month pension. So they want some money in their pocket to buy something for themselves. So some of them are just kind of just plain wanting to have things that they don't get at home, and others really are in need where they don't have a place to sleep or don't have absolutely no money at home, or in cases where, like, the parents are using substances, then the parents' need is more important than the children's need.
Yeah. So, Alicia, I wanna move on and ask you, how do you help the boys that is in your care as well? But just listening to what you're saying, and we know this about you as well, that you guys do quite a bit of intervention work as well as preventative work. So, if a boy had to come in and join your facility or be at your facility, do you then in some way support that family as well?
Yes, because we use a holistic approach. It's not just the child. There's a reason why the child end up here. So we call it, in social work terms, they call it an individual development plan, which is an IDP, and a care plan. And that is then compiled by all relevant parties. The parents give input, the social worker, external social worker gives input, our child and youth care workers give input, and together we then make like a plan of action, what to do in the next 6 months to help this child, whether it is to put them in a school, whether it is for them to become more confident, but that's the plan of action that we do.
Okay, all right.
And then obviously once you take these kids and the problems you're sitting with, because these kids are supposed to be at school, and obviously they haven't been to school, so it really takes quite a bit, because now you need to educate these kids, am I correct?
That's right. And the problem we have at the moment is some of them are old already, like 16 years old, and the last grade that they had was like grade 7 maybe. So it's done at 5. You're not going to find a school that's going to be willing to take a 16-year-old into a primary school, so it does become very difficult. They cannot actually. So what we're trying to do is let them get some skills in terms of hard labor, like becoming a plumber, becoming a barber, and get that type of skill so that they can actually become sustainable when they leave here at the age of 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know what, and I like what you're saying there in terms of helping them to finish the education, because I'm just imagining to myself now exactly to what you're saying. If somebody left home or ran away or whatever the reason is at the age of 10 and only at the age of 14, because it's not like you leave on the Monday and then you're going to be looked after, let's say, on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Let's assume that there's 4 or 5 years in between. That is a huge gap. That is a huge gap.
So big.
That is absolutely big.
Yes, and what we find is when they become streetwise, it's so difficult to get them into a program, because for 2 years they've been doing just what they want when they want to. So it's very difficult to get them into a structured program. And then obviously some of them are lured into drug abuse, and it's so easy to get these substances off the streets for some of the kids. So it's difficult. I mean, to think that adults are selling to children, but it's reality.
Yeah.
No, it is. So quickly, just you said plumbing skills. So with that, I would assume something like carpentry, electrical work, construction, any sort of skill like that, and others.
Yes, we're still trying to get that in, but not just that. We also had a very successful placement 2 years ago of one of our boys that went for modeling. And he's actually traveling overseas. I'm not allowed to say his name, but we're very proud about him. And that's the thing. If you want to know about him, you're going to have to read our newsletter. That's the only way you're going to know. But yeah, we have, so it's not just hard labor. I mean, modeling is hard work, but at least just smiling and having different poses. It's not that hard than having to build a building. So it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
but
earning a living.
that is exactly it. It is about acquiring a skill and earning a living, and it is always about the one thing always leads to another. But it's about a choice and it's an opportunity. This is what it is about. So you said a short while ago you got just over 20 boys at your facility, and what do you do now other than that to help families in the community? Because when we look at, and I just want to sort of step back for a moment, when you and your facility, you deal with somebody who's on the street, somebody who does need help, and you yourself just said a short while ago, even if you're at the mall or wherever you are in a public space, you would actually touch base and say, why are you doing this? Or, just have a little conversation going. But when we look at societal structure in the scene today, and also considering the effects of the pandemic that we currently find ourselves in, a lot of preventive work, intervention. Do you go around in the community and try and identify possible hotspots and problems all the time?
That is mainly what the satellite office does, and it's run from the base of the school. So if a child is, for example, like we said, they first run programs so that the children can become can trust them, So they run programs, awareness programs, anti-bullying campaigns, just talking to all the girls about menstruation, what to expect, and that type of thing. So we have all those type of awareness workshops with the kids, and then we also have awareness workshops with parents to kind of talk about child abuse. And many people think child abuse is just eating, but it's also the emotional abuse that goes with it. People don't realize that word hurt. And I know people used to say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt you. But it does.
It does.
It needs deep.
It does.
So those are the type of outreach programs we do as well.
Oh, okay. And I just wanted to touch on something which is quite a big problem, and and a lot of families are experiencing this. And I'm talking about all basically different levels. If you are the poorest, middle class, rich, whatever the case may be, it's bullying at school. And this is a serious problem, Alicia. And a lot of parents are talking about this, and it is a hot topic within all families, all communities. Are you guys spending a bit more time just trying to get that out of the system as well? Because it's extremely difficult.
Yes, and once you get the child to understand that, I don't deserve this, to be able to stand up for themselves, be able to be confident enough to actually speak to either a teacher or the social worker or even their parents. Because you find that there's parents that say, my child has been abused for months and I didn't know. So some of those workshops and awareness programs is actually telling parents what to pick up on. So we involve a psychologist as well in some of those sessions where they actually can help the parents in terms of counseling and trying to ask open-ended questions. When your child comes at home, kind of ask them, how was your day? What did you do today? And not ask, was school nice? Then it's just a yes or a no. Kind of ask open-ended questions. What's your friend? If your child starts telling you, I have no friends at school, that's already a red flag, for example, So there are ways and means that parents need to take an interest in their children. And in that way, that child would be comfortable speaking about what is happening at school. And even in the workplace nowadays, you have abuse happening. So, yeah.
And I was just going to say now, because that's exactly it, as a child and what you experience as a child, you take that into your adulthood, and then you tend to obviously continue this bullying and thinking that it's fine. And if somebody actually doesn't tell you, that's not acceptable, imagine putting yourself into that person's shoes, how would you deal with it? So, and for me, that's exactly where we need to start solving this problem about bullying is at school, because this is where basically, for me, I find that the most of the kids that bullied were the ones that actually had social issues or problems at home, and this is the way they took it out on the next kid. I don't know if you experienced that, Alicia.
I think if you look at it, if the issue was not sorted and the child was not, helped at that age or at that stage, what happens is when they grow up, they actually become bullies because they think it's the norm to be treated that way. And that is actually very sad when a child that was bullied becomes a bully. Then the cycle of abuse just keeps on growing.
Yeah, it is a cycle. You know what? And it's almost like it's a multifaceted problem because there's so much. So many different angles, but the thing is, it is here, and we need to deal with it as a society, and of course you as a wonderful organization definitely setting the pace with that. But I just want to quickly move over to some comments that we've received over the last while, of course, since we've started this broadcast. As always, we definitely value your opinions and comments. I know somebody said hi, just want to flip that screen up a little bit. There we go. So Tanya, how's it going? Thank you very much for joining us. So Hubert Paul, sir, thank you very much for your comments. And Hubert has made some interesting observations and some comments. So I just want to quickly read those. The first one Hubert said was, society needs to stop seeing impoverished or street children as a burden and remember not to treat them as a burden as well. And I think that is really to the heart of it. It is not a burden. It is, in a way, it is our responsibility. And it is there. And a lot of times, we almost want to turn a blind eye.
Yeah, so true.
You know what I mean? Now, Hubert also, and I want us just to touch on that, because Hubert also mentions, he goes, he says, in this part of the world, there's always more news when it comes to animal issues like baboon matters, but when it comes to these social issues, the silence is deafening at most of the times, especially in the Cape. And we need to get louder together and make a difference in the lives of the homeless.
Wow.
And for that matter, and especially to street children. And that is really what it is about.
Wow.
I was actually, and I must say this, I was actually saying to Rhoda off air, I said, when we, and I don't want to confuse street children with homelessness here, but there's a bit of a line there. There's a connectivity, I suppose, in a way. A lot of people, and I don't care where you are, people might look at it, they don't want it in their area. It is not a case of not wanting it in where your neighborhood. It is a case of not wanting it at all. You don't want it anywhere.
It shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be there. We shouldn't have this.
We shouldn't have this.
How do we still have this in 2021? And it's a huge thing.
It is a huge
and then COVID comes along and
just makes it worse.
Everything goes at the seams, and here we are.
That is so true.
Here we are. So Hubert, thank you very much for your comments and for your observations as well. And I think he hits it on the nail. Now, Alicia, we quickly want to move on because I wanted to ask you the following. So, problems you have experienced. I mean, you're dealing with a group of teenage boys, that sort of adolescence age, that coming into own age. That in itself is not easy. And especially somebody who's on the street who might have lacked the influence of role models or father figures, or especially somebody who comes from an abused environment. So what are those like?
Sure. I think what we experience here at Cape Town Multi-Service Centre is the boys that think it's second nature to swear. It becomes the norm because that's what they've been used to. So some of them don't want to try new things. We go on hikes. We take them on hikes thanks to community members. They've been exposed to soccer, to making sushi, to making smoothies, and we try and do all these type of things with them. We took them to the trampoline park. They sponsored us for about 15 of our boys to come about a week ago, and the boys loved it. But it's so expensive. So if we don't get a sponsorship, they'll never get there. But it was so nice for them to actually just live it out, Sometimes the boys have a culture of learned helplessness, as when they don't actually want to change. They just want to be left they are fine the way they are. So they don't want to learn new things. I've had some of the boys saying, I don't want to go to hiking. I don't want to hike. I'm going to be tired. So they don't want to try new things in some cases. And that is in itself is something that we need to get out of them, that culture of helplessness or that culture of being sorry or feeling sorry for themselves. It is a holistic approach, dealing with their feelings, dealing with their thoughts, dealing with what they experienced, as young people. So yes, it's a very big job. And with the staff that we've got about 8 child and youth care workers, a social worker, and myself together with a driver. And they all are, most of them are parents as well. So you kind of connect with them, and that one-on-one moment is what is actually the best thing to do, But I love working here, and I heard you speaking to Hubert earlier. Hubert is the type of person that actually reaches out to organizations like ourselves, and with a group of other professionals, they came to visit at my previous work. So I'm hoping that him listening to me today is going to do the same for us here at Cape Town Multi-Service Centre as well. And I know you already told me he's going to play golf if we've got a golf day, so that's already perfect.
We definitely.
That's how
and you know what, you've subbed Hubert up probably very far, and Hubert especially as well, and everybody watching this show as well, they all probably thinking, because I'm thinking now, what is there that I can do? I have a certain, you know what, and actually we're going to talk about it now, because I have a very particular set of skills. I always wanted to use the line, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Also, when we look at the people that is at the facility, I mean the boys that you have, and let's just be very clear, they live there 24/7. That's right.
That's right.
And,
yes, that is essential.
Okay, and in terms of the age group, so you're dealing with boys, you have boys up to the age of 16, you said?
18.
18.
Yeah.
17 and 18, yeah.
Say 17 and 18. So if I'm in the system at the age of 9, do I then stay there the whole course up until I hit that age of 18 years old?
No, our admission age is 11. So at a 9-year-old, you would not be here. But if you're 11 or 12, you would be admitted.
So between 11 and 12, and then I will stay for that next 6-7 years till I'm.
It entirely depends on the individual and the support structures. Because if that child came here because the mom had a new boyfriend or the father had a new girlfriend, and that's the person they don't deal with. If that person is not in the picture, and that child can actually go back because they've learned to deal with the issue, if the person is still there and the social workers, worked around it. In our society, unfortunately, we do have adultery happening, and it might be a child or outside the marriage. And it's cases like that maybe the mother is not happy with the child being here. And then unfortunately the child needs to bear the brunt, not being loved by a mother and not being cared for. So cases like that makes it very difficult. But if the problem is sorted, the child can go home within 3 months, 4 months, 5 months of placement, and that is where the care plan comes in. You look at what's the problem and you address the problem. And once that problem is sorted, the child doesn't have to stay here till they turn 18.
That's so sad. And I'm just chatting on that. We did a project some years back where we worked with government as well. We took photos at different, basically where kids were being held at institutions because they committed crimes. And the sad part and reality of that, Dougal and Alicia, was the fact that when I had done these photos and actually gone to these facilities, actually chatting to the guys that's actually run the facility, the frustration of the fact that they rehabilitate most of these kids, but if you're not sorting out the social circumstances they're going back to, and this is where our problem lies, is the social, them going back into that environment. And that's exactly what you're saying. Find the problem, try and sort out the problem, because even if you're going to try and rehabilitate that kid, they need to go back. And I cried at one of the functions, places, because of the fact that the gentleman spoke to me, he started crying because he said he rehabilitated a child and he went back and his brother killed him. And this is the reality of what's happening out there.
Sure.
People are not aware of what's actually happening in our societies. And I feel we as a community need to, like Hubert said, not look at the child as a burden. Try and figure out why is he there, what is the reasoning for that. And I feel for you guys on having to try and do your utmost to try and help these kids and having to put them back again. I can just imagine, how difficult that must be for you guys.
Yes, it's so sad because you try and develop that child and focus on those areas, and then say for example a child came in at the age of 16 and was using daha as a substance, and then that child had behavioral problems at school. So when the behavioral problems are sorted and you have had those workshops and awareness programs with a child, and the child has actually better managed their anger and that type of thing and needs to go back to the community, that access to drugs is still there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so he might have been now for 6 months to a year without drugs and being in a level 3 facility, and then he's okay according to the social workers there and can be placed back into the community, and then it just happens again because they didn't look at the holistic picture. They didn't look at why the child ended up here.
So
Might have been a lack of supervision or parental guidance at home, and if they don't sort that problem out, it's just going to reappear.
Yeah, no, it is. And a lot of times it's and I'm not saying, it's almost like we have a plaster on an internal thing, and you know there is no fix. Alicia, looking at all of this and looking holistically, I mean, this is not something that any organization can just do sort of willy-nilly. I mean, you need help of communities, businesses, government, everybody. Where do we start? And let's be quite frank about it. How can we help you?
There's a lot of ways that people from the community can assist. I think firstly by praying for us and praying for children that are abused and praying for women that are abused. Prayer does wonders, and that is the first thing we are asking communities and individuals to do, because once everybody has prayed for us and organizations like ourselves, there are monetary ways in which people can get involved. We've got a problem with our fence, for example. Our fence needs to be fixed. When we did a costing, it would cost us between 158 and 168,000, because what happens is our gate might be closed, but our fence is broken, so the children still end up jumping over it and going out, you know. So you try and get sponsors for things like that. Our computer room needs an upgrade. Our gym needs an upgrade. So if people in that type of job context could donate towards that and give us a call and ask, you know, what do you need for the gym? And we can send them exactly what we need for the gym. We need flooring within the areas, the office areas, as well as the hallways. And it doesn't come cheap. None of these things come cheap. And we are reaching out to companies. When it's your CSI projects budgets that you have available, please, you know, give us a call, give us a shout, and see how you can be of assistance. And then obviously we need everything you use at home, from food to toiletries to cleaning materials. So imagine your house and what you need for your house in terms of cleaning materials. We need more than enough, because we've got our hall where we use the cleaning materials to clean the spaces, dishwashers and stuff that we wash dishes every day, and it's 22 kids dishes, washing as well. So those normal things I mean, Food Lovers Market have lovely punnets. Just drop off a punnet of something. The combos that they have, it will definitely save us because we have to purchase all of those things. And in order for us to minimize our budget, just throw in a couple of extra things. If you look at toiletries, the boys use roll-on and spray and lotion, and like I said, these things doesn't come cheap, and dan wil hulle nog name lekker sê, so it must be extra, it must be, that type of thing. And then obviously clothing. Children like to look nice. So if you've got a budget and say, okay, fine, I'll buy for these 22 kids, I'll buy tackies. That is something. Winter's coming up, nice clothes, shoes. In summer, these slip-ons for the boys, and in that way, we see the saving. If you buy in bulk, we see the saving. If everybody brings a little thing, we don't see it. But if you bring me 3 bales of toilet paper this month, I don't have to purchase toilet paper. And immediately I see a saving, and that is what we're asking people to do, to reach out food in terms of 2-month sponsorship of those type of things. And then we obviously know our electricity and water bill is quite high, looking at 22 kids bathing and showering every day, sometimes twice a day if they went out and played soccer. Hulle wil kom bas, hulle wil allerlei sweet vir mamma. At the end of the day, it's important to ensure that their basic needs are met.
Yeah, and how this is a difficult question. It's not an easy question. It's a bit of a naughty question, if I can put it that way. And the communities and businesses have been supportive.
There's been a couple of businesses. I mean, I started in November, like I said, so I've had a couple of extra people that I've contacted. We have people in the individual capacities that delivered a 10 kg rice, and people that we just spoke to, and that is what makes a difference, that little bit. If you look at one person dropping off a 10 kg, if 5 other people do it, we have enough rice for 2 months.
It is.
It does make sense.
Every little bit helps, so that is what we'd like to encourage people. Yes, the boys can be rowdy at times, and yes, we're looking for mentors. Like my mother used to say, my mother-in-law actually used to say, "You haar op jou tande het vir die kinders." So, you need to really dig deep.
You have to.
With these kids, yes.
And you know what? I mean, it is sometimes very easy, and I must say this, it's very easy for somebody like me and for Rhoda, for what we do as well as observers and presenters of a program like that. It's very easy for us to just move and shift everything to the door of government. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, they got their hands full, man. You know what I mean? They can only do that much. They do as much as they can, but it sometimes doesn't seem like it, but I mean, the hands are full. And I like what you say, and I actually want to go back to one of the 2 of the comments, because earlier you mentioned Hubert, Alicia. You said he does a wonderful work, and Hubert actually says there, he goes, you know what, I hear you loud and clear, I'm on board, you let me know. Blah, blah, blah. And I know Hubert now has to get in touch with you. So, Hubert, thank you very much for that. I quickly want to move on to a comment from Rashida. Rashida Shabuddin, thank you so much for your comment. Let me quickly just read it. She says, we must create a world that the responsibility of care for our children is both a mother and father endeavor, so not just one side. We know the negative impact on children, on the absent father, on the development of children specifically. And of course, if parents are unable to take care of their children, then society must step in. So well done to the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre for building a new society. And thank you very much to you and me as well for doing this. No, Rashida, thank you very much for your comment, because that is it. I mean, we talk, we need a lot more. And I mean, here's one organization that does it, but there is a gazillion organizations that does this as well. And I like the thing, because there's two things I'm going to take out of this. The first thing is the interventative bit of it, and the preventative work. That is what we've got to focus on, because I like what you said as well. You can't have someone look cared for and then you kind of go back into the area or the situation that caused the problem. The problem is not going to go away.
It's not going to go away. That is exactly it. And we, at the end of the day, as community, we are the community, we are the people out there that can assist in the situation as well. And just sometimes actually speaking to a single mother that's raising kids in Delft or raising kids on their own, and this is the most of the circumstance, like what's her name? Rashida alluded to, is the fact that a lot of parents are raising these kids on their own in circumstances, in areas that is extremely dangerous. And they can't see a way or any other way, because they only see that. And this is what the kids are seeing all the time. And even me just chatting to this lady and telling her, but take your kids to Camps Bay and show them the houses and tell them, you can also have this. Yeah. That's exactly what you, at the end of the day, can actually instill into that mother as well, because you sometimes feel alone and you can't see anything else but your circumstances.
You know what? It's so hard when your situation is desperate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can just imagine, there's times where I'm desperate for various things.
Yeah.
And it is so hard, but I'm a grown man, I'm an adult. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it when you are 10?
No, my word.
9, 12, 13, formative. You know nothing. You just learn how to tie your shoe. I was 15, I couldn't tie shoelaces yet. I'm just saying. This is what it is. But Alicia, straight into it, because a lot of help, a lot of support is definitely needed. And once again, I just want to say this. We commend you for your amazing work. How do people get in touch with you? I mean, you've mentioned things like, toiletries, food, anything like that, monetary donations. How do people get in touch with you? Because I think we need to get in touch with you.
We need to.
How do they come about?
Our telephone number is 021 448
Say again?
3430.
Can you say that number again, please?
021 448 3430.
Okay. And is there a website that could visit as well?
Well, the website at the moment is under reconstruction.
Okay.
But my direct email is director.
All right.
At ctmsc.
Yeah.
.org.za.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Got it. .org.za. All right. So that is how people could get in touch with you. And of course, I'm sure because, we definitely have a wonderful community and people who do amazing things. So, and I think it's definitely something for all of us to get involved in. Let's be really with the proof of the pudding, okay? A lot of people know that I'm a performer. So I will get in touch with you. It is the month of June. Maybe I could pop around there for an hour or so and just have a chat with the boys or something like that, or we will work something out, because I think it might help. Maybe just have them hear my life story or something. So I would definitely like to do that.
Fantastic. I think they always say laughter is the best medicine, and I know you're a great comedian as well. So you can come out and make us laugh for an hour. And I think it's also showing the boys that, you can make money being a comedian as well. It's just another avenue,
So true.
It's sharing your skills, young man.
So, Alicia.
No, definitely. I think we're going to do that, but we need to do more, Rhoda.
Definitely. And Alicia, from Mahala Monday, from our guys here, our directors and everybody else is sitting on the other side of these cameras, we have decided for the month of June, Youth Month, that if anybody out there, any businesses out there want to use this platform to get your name out there, if you can donate 1,500 to Alicia then you can get a free show here for the next month. So we will not charge you to come on here and advertise your business. So if you can do that donation, send us a proof of payment and we'll be able to slot you in for the month of June.
Yeah, and all you got to do is get in touch with the wonderful people at the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, and you use Mahala Monday as the keyword, but at least 1,500, of course, as a as a business is for you, go higher. We know some of you. Yeah, please, you can do a lot more, and that will definitely go a wonderful way. And then, like Rhoda said, of course, and then we will feature you here on Mahala Monday. So now remember, the June is only that long, so there's only so much space. So you got to get in quickly with that as well. But you simply make a donation of a minimum at least of 1,500 to the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. So I think that is brilliant. Final comment coming in here from Hubert saying, I challenge all contributors, list as follows to the show to equal or better by 500 Rand. Bank details, please, Alicia. Hey yo, Hubert. That's how you start things off. So Hubert, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hubert.
Thank you very much for that. And of course, if you could just email Alicia directly, I think that would be it. But we'll give you the email again and a phone number as well towards the end, if you could just get in touch with her that way. But that kind of wraps it up from our side, isn't it?
That's right. And just a quick one as well. The business that's wanting to donate, if you're going to be donating that or more, you will get a certificate as well, which is basically for your VAT, for SARS and things like that. So there is a letter that you will receive from Alicia them. So you know what, it is for a good cause, and you can put it against your business as well.
Yeah. Alicia, so back to you. We're going to try our best. Of course, our viewership and our wonderful audience, we're definitely going to try. And once again, from all of us, we commend you for your amazing work and really wonderful work that you do. And long may it continue You do such amazing work. And we just wish you the best. Anything from your side? Any final thoughts?
Just thank you very much for the opportunity. I was nervous, but it went well. I'm feeling okay. I didn't make too much mistakes, so I'm okay. Thank you very much. And to the viewers out there, can I move that barometer to 1 million and see how many people will get to that million?
You do that.
I'm being positive, right?
Think positive, yeah. So Hubert will be in touch with you as well. We'll give the number shortly again, and he will be in touch with you, and we'll read Hubert's challenge as well with his email. But Alicia Rhoda, Director at Cape Town Multi-Service Centre, thank you very much for your time. Say hi to the boys from our side as well. And we wish you all the best, and thank you very much for coming on to Mahala Monday.
Thank you. All the best.
Cheers.
See you, Alicia. Bye.
So that is Alicia, everybody, and wonderful of her to come on board. And you know what? Firstly, there's a lot of thank yous that need to take place now, and a couple of things we need to reiterate as well. But thank you very much to Alicia, of course, for coming on to Mahala Monday. But such an important topic, Rhoda. Such an important topic. And you know what? I'm going to say this again. There's two things for me very important. Preventative intervention. This is it. This is it. We can't have the future walking around on the street. Yeah. And we as adults can't be the reason that they, and that's us.
There we go.
They didn't choose that.
They didn't choose that.
We've created the situation where it's us as big people.
That's so true.
So if you half think you big, do the big thing. Please, come on. You can't be doing this. So Hubert, what can I say? What can I say? My man. Do you know what? We wouldn't have had this topic if everybody was 2% of Hubert.
Oh, yeah. Almost definitely.
That is it. Yeah. So here's the number for the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. Hope you're penning it down. 021 448 3430. It is 021 448 3430. That is the phone number. That's okay. And then also you can email Alicia, which is director at CTMSC, which is Cape Town Multi-Service Centre. So that's director at ctmsc.org.
Yeah.
.za. That's
right.
it. That is the email. So Hubert is, once again, I just got to say this again, he challenges all contributors, listeners, followers to the show to equal or better my 500 Rand. And bank details, please, is what he asked for, Alicia. So please get in touch with her that way, Hubert. Yeah. If you could do that, and that will be brilliant. So Hubert has laid out the challenge to everybody watching Mahala Monday. And we would like to add it because there's quite a bit that they need. You know, something... as a PS4 if you just got it lying around at home.
Yes.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Old clothes that doesn't fit. I've got one or two, you know, because you eat, man.
Precisely.
And it's not my fault, it's the food's fault, okay? So I know where the problem is.
And people not broken clothes, please.
Yeah, but you know, something decent, and especially whatever we can do, you know, this is super important. And then of course from our side, and I'm definitely going to get in touch with them on a personal basis as well. And then from our side as well, for the month of June, this is Youth Month. Let's all make a difference with this one as well. So basically, let me just put my ear together again. Beg your pardon, everybody. So what this means is, we on Mahala Monday will feature your business, your organization, minimum donation at least to the Cape Town Multi-Service Centre of 1,500 Rand. You get in touch with them. We've given you the details, of course, and as Rhoda explained, you will get the certificate.
Yes, you do get a certificate as well.
Yeah, and that of course is for your business purposes, as you would know. But you do that at least, and then we will give you a show right here with us. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. And that way we all do something amazing. That way we all do something amazing. I know a lot of us don't always have the time to give, but this is something amazing. That is it from me.
That's it, Dougal. It was a fabulous show, very informative and very, you know, basically put your hopes up there and actually wanting to work. And this is exactly what Mahala is all about, putting information out there and assisting for those that's actually needing you right now.
Yeah. So the most important thing that we got to do, we all got to help in a minimal way. So like Rhoda always say, you got to like and share this. You got to send the show to everybody now.
Everyone.
And also send it to all your family and friends, all the people you like. If you don't like anybody, send it to all of them as well. The point is, send it to yourself. Just to cover your tracks.
Have a fabulous week, guys.
Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for all the contributions. And thank you once again for opening your ears and more importantly, your hearts. So to Alicia for joining us this morning, thank you very much. To all the viewers, thank you for all the wonderful comments and contributions. And Hubert, once again, thank you very much for doing that, sir. Don't forget, director@ctmsc.org.za. That is how you can email this wonderful institution. And of course, for the month of June, 1,500 minimum at least contribution to that organization. We will give you a show here on Mahala Monday. That is it from me. I've said enough.
That's it. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.